moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico on January 1st, 2022, I was halfway through 5th grade. By 7th grade, I started having breathing problems. It took a while to get an appointment, but I was incorrectly diagnosed with activity-induced asthma. By 8th grade, I realized that my inhaler wasn't actually working. It was mainly just making me jittery. I went through a few other appointments, and the whole experience was mentally exhausting. I'm now halfway through 9th grade and just recently got the news that something in the air is messing with my lungs. 2.5 years is a lifetime for a 14-year-old. I definitely had times where I just wanted to know what was wrong with me, and I definitely had times where I tried self-diagnosing. But now we ask the question, is self-diagnosing harmful or helpful?
I think that it can be difficult to self-diagnose because you don't have everything that like a doctor could have.
I think it's a normal thing that we do. People want to have answers, and if you look it up first, then you might have an answer before you have time to go see a doctor.
I don't think there's anything wrong with self-diagnosing. It's not like the end-all be-all, I think.
They actually might get it right, which could be very helpful for doctors and other people taking care of them.
I think people assume they know more than they actually do, and so when they misdiagnose, they look to the wrong solutions, and then it ends up just making more problems.
People have perceived that doctors have less time for them, and that might also drive them to look up their own symptoms and try to come up with their own diagnosis. They might actually think it's helpful.
People are self-diagnosing more than actually getting diagnosis because, it's expensive. Insurance is so hard to come by these days. Or not hard to come by, hard to pay.
Well, the American public exists in a system that was designed 80 years ago.
I feel like we don't have access to doctors as much as we probably used to.
And I think that system is largely now broken, and it has been broken for some time.
We're seeing less and less effort being put into things like Medicare and Medicaid, and I think people are less willing to go to hospitals and, pay for that because obviously it's expensive,
I've been an advocate for change for a long time, and believe that we have ways to get it better in this country, and I think it largely starts with making sure our health system meets the needs of individuals, not the needs of groups.
It's hard to get appointments with doctors, and so many people want to, obviously, so there's been times I've tried to get appointments and they say, it's gonna be 6 months, you have to wait.
Have you ever worked with patients who have self-diagnosed before?
Yes. A lot of patients will look up their own symptoms and then come up with what they think they have, and then let you know what they think.
A lot of teenagers say things like, oh, I have OCD, or I have depression, not realizing the full weight of that's a real thing. Maybe if you think you have that, go get some help, Yeah.
Why do you think self-diagnosing happens?
I just think it's a normal thing that we would want to do. If there's a question, you're going to want to try to find an answer.
It's going to tell you the worst of the worst, and AI is going to, obviously it's artificial intelligence, so they don't know what's actually happening. They're not human. They're going off of what they know, research-wise and on the internet and all that kind of stuff.
The biggest issue with using any website, whether it's AI or any other thing, is that some people tend to get fixated that Google told them or AI told them that this was the diagnosis, and sometimes not those websites or apps don't fully understand what the patient either looks like or what their exam is. Sometimes it can lead to confusion and miscommunication.
AI pulls its information from a lot of different sources, including Reddit, and so the AI is taking information that is just false.
Comparing that and worrying about that versus actually going to a doctor and being like, hey, this is happening, chances are they'll probably say you're fine.
AI affirms everything that everybody says.
So definitely don't use AI to diagnose yourself. It isn't good. Unless you're that or even have no access to anything, I wouldn't use AI for anything.
Conducting my interviews, I conclude that self-diagnosing is a normal human action that can lead to harmful scenarios. These scenarios include obsession and danger from unneeded medicine. The medical economy has changed a lot compared to the oldest hospitals. We as a community have improved but also worsened. Examples of this include how hospitals have improved significantly and now help all people of race, gender, mental state, or injury. We have worsened though through impatience and less communication. This can lead us back to the fact that Valentina stated,
I feel like we don't have access to doctors as much as we probably used to.
while Dr. Wormer stated,
People have perceived that doctors have less time for them.
to conclude, self-diagnosing is normal. Almost everyone does it. The danger of it, though, is obsessing or believing AI over doctors and medical professionals.